Hey, yo, man, what's the deal? I'm LATWAN. Today we back with a new video. Winter is here. Winter is here, man. Like, I don't know how many more signs we need as a people to see it, but the reset is here. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is for the musicians. Y'all see what's going on with Universal Music taking down their artists' music off of TikTok. You got the whole Spotify and change the way that they doing, stream numbers and all this kind of stuff. And then on top of that, that's just in the music sector of things. Now you got PayPal laying people off, Spotify laying people off. Like, bro, winter is here. Like, it's definitely something going on in an environment in the United States, and I don't know what other signs people need to know. Like, nigga, like you really need to like focus on whatever it is that you want to do. If you're a person that you just want to, ride out the boat and you know work here and do all that kind of stuff, that's fine. But it's like, bro, like it's getting real and it's not going back, man. So that's pretty much like that's the topic of this video today. Is to me, I'm like, bro, winter is here. Like the United States environment is changing. Like shit is changing. It's not going back to how it was pre-COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's not going back to the 90s. Like anybody that's been outside, anybody that's been living in, going to work and doing this type of stuff, you could tell that the environment changed. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different world. Ever since COVID happened, bro, it's a whole different world out here. And I don't think, as humans, we don't realize like it's a shift going on, like right under your nose, because we expect something catastrophic to happen, something big to happen. And the reality is like life don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when shit is changing, it changes subtly. And that's with anything, because I mean, you can apply that to just building a business. Like it's rare that a person builds a business and they blow up fast. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time when a person has a business and they grow a business, it's a subtle growth. And so now in the United States environment, like I feel like we in a situation where it's like a subtle, it ain't even really, to me, it's not subtle, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been paying attention to it for a while, but in the, to the average person, it's subtle because they don't realize it. You know what I'm saying? You don't realize uh, all these people, 500,000 people getting evicted last year and all this type of stuff. Like that stuff is going to pull a toll on a society. It's going to pull a tug on a society eventually. It's just a matter of when. You know what I'm saying? Like you might know somebody that's been affected by it. Luckily, I don't know anybody that's been affected by none of that kind of stuff. But regardless, what I know everybody is being affected by is I was about to say inflammation, inflation. That's what everybody being affected by. I don't care how much money you got. Everybody dealing with that. Everybody seeing the prices go up. So to me, I'm just like, you got to have a plan, bro. Because, what we were taught, because I'm a millennial. So what we were taught, that shit ain't going, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't working. At least for me, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I'm like, that shit ain't working for me. Like, I still got to work. Because, I still live in reality. I ain't one of these delusional dudes that, I used to be. I ain't going to cap that didn't want to work and all that kind of stuff. But overall, like doing this shit till I'm like 50, 60, working at these different companies, going from company to company, like that shit don't make sense to me. Especially going with the environment and seeing how fast the environment can change, because this is life. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's just now that I'm old enough and I can see it as an adult now. But this stuff always happens. You know what I'm saying? It's been happening in life. Like, I can't even name the years that it's happened, but I've listened to OGs and stuff, and they've talked about it when it happened when they were like around 30, 30 years old and stuff like that. So, but I was a kid, so you don't care about shit like that when you're a kid. But I still listen to the OGs and I pay attention to what the OGs are talking about. And I just realized, I'm like, this shit is a whole cycle. Like the environment is shifting. You know what I'm saying? Like it's shifting from, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say this. It's shifting from an extremely narcissistic society to where now people are gonna have to depend on people. Because naturally, bro, this society in itself is, how can I say this? the psychology of this society is weaved into being narcissistic, bro. Like everything, like if you really understand the United States and if you a person that really read and shit like that, you know that, you know, this is a corporation. This ain't really a country. You know what I'm saying? So you really live in a business. And so what that really means is every person is a business. They're a walking business. That's by understanding and the things I read about the United States, we're all corporations. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever your name is, that's the name of your corporation. But we tend to look at it, you know, because the way we were taught, you know, I don't blame nobody for it. I think it's just, you know, the way that we were programmed when we grew up was, you know, that our name is who we are. And it is in a way, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't tell us, you know, like, nigga, you a corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like that name of yours, you're a corporation. Like that's a deep rabbit hole. I ain't even really gonna go too deep into that rabbit hole, but that's why I say like the environment is changing, because I think we went to the furthest of the bottom as far as they gonna let it go, because of obviously it can get worse because shit can turn to anarchy, but I don't think that that's gonna happen. I'm not one of these people, you know what I'm saying, that's a doomsday kind of dude, but because I don't see that happening, because something like that happening, that catastrophic, like that could change like the wealth and all that kind of shit, and I just don't think, you know, that's gonna happen. I don't think it's that big, like, but overall, man, I'm like, this environment is changing, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of the times, like for a man, like we were complaining. I'm gonna say we were complaining, me too, about like the dating market in this environment, right? But the truth be told, this goes back to the point that I just made about a minute ago, is that how I look at it, the women were reflecting to us what this society is really about. I don't think that they were conscious of it, like as far as like how deep of what it is, like the psychology is, but I think that that's what was happening. What do I mean? Remember when I said something about how we're all corporations? So that's why now more women are like, you know, they need money. They really don't care about you as a human being. It's some good women out there, so don't get it twisted. It's some women out there that care for you as a human being, but the way this society is set up, the average person, due to whatever stresses they have in their life, you know what I'm saying, and shit like that. I ain't here to judge. I'm just here to speak the truth. They not really looking for a real connection. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they stuck in survival mode. They trying to get their bills paid. And ironically, you know what I'm saying, that's actually hustling backwards like a motherfucker. Because it's damn near impossible to get out of survival mode like that. It's impossible because of just the way it is. I'm like, shit, I ain't no better. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no better and I ain't perfect or nothing like that. But I'm just a thoughtful person. You know what I'm saying? I'm an insightful person. I like to think about shit. Like, you know, I might do something and then I come home and I'll think about it. I had an insight of it. I'm not just going to do shit and just continue to do shit and then not think about it. And so that's kind of how I look at it, bro. I think it's just the environment is changing. It's leaning more towards, they're going to change it more towards like families. Now, motherfuckers is still going to be narcissistic because that's just human nature at its core, is to self-preserve at its core. But I think it just got out of hand, you know what I'm saying, with the way that shit was shaped, that shit was shifted, laws, jobs, all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just got out of hand. But now I think whoever it is, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to reverse the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the society is getting out of control. Like let's just keep it a buck. Like, society is out of control right now. Like, niggas is acting wild. I know a few white people, they dealing with crazy, they dealing with their own kind of stuff, because we all got different cultures, so we deal with stresses differently. Like, ain't nobody fucking perfect around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Niggas got their own way of doing messed up stuff, and white people got their own way of doing messed up stuff. It's just a part of humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got, it's just a flaw of humanity. It's not to strike a single person's character or nothing like that, or point out this person's flaw. It's just like, nigga, that's just humanity. Like, it's just certain things about humanity that you just not gonna get away from. You know what I'm saying? Certain things. So self-preservation is one of them. But overall, bro, like, I look at it now as like winter is here. You know what I'm saying? They letting us, they showing you, you know what I'm saying, that you need to do something. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna walk up to your door and tell you, hey, this, and this is happening, and if you don't do this, you're gonna be in this situation in a couple of years. Like, that shit, that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But you just need to pay attention. If you're a person that pay attention and you're a thoughtful, insightful person, pay attention to what's going on around you, because I'm gonna say it again, winter is here. The United States environment is changing, bro. And either you're gonna be ahead of the curve, or you're gonna be a person that's gonna get stuck behind the curve, and then you're gonna end up the same way people were that was doing this social media stuff, like, you know, trying to be this superstar stuff and all that kind of shit. I honestly think majority of those people were behind the curve. Like, I think the people that run shit put that in place. You know what I'm saying? So y'all have run the little trial, 10, 15 years, or however long the Instagram shit been going on. But now it's like, people are starting to like, okay, like, this shit is weird. Like, I'm trying to be perfect, and insecurities is at a fucking all-time high because of Instagram, bro. It's crazy. And it, to me, it's crazy because I'm like, people are insecure about people that post pictures of themselves at their best time or with filters, men or women. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is not how this person look in real life. That's the shit that I don't get. I'm like, bro, a lot of these people are not really it in real life. Like, they don't have charisma. They can't talk. They don't have real personality. But you can hide that shit, you know what I'm saying, behind a picture. You can hide that shit. And that's what I'm realizing is on YouTube, that shit being exposed. So now people are not receptive to it as much, because you realize that a lot of the shit that you see on Instagram, it be fake ass personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people don't really be it. They just know how to work the system. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't too many people that's really it, that really have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where you can just tell, like, okay, that person, it's in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because most people wear that shit. Let's just keep it a buck. Most people put on the costume to get along in society. I don't care what anybody say. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand why. So it's like, it ain't no emotion tied to it, but I see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because when you get around these people, they be lame as hell, bro. Or I ain't even gonna say they be socially awkward, but they just be lame as hell, bro. And you could just tell, like, being around their energy. And I'm like, bro, you lame, bro. Like, you just know what to do to make yourself look cool on social media, but you really lame in real life. And to me, as a man in my life, I think real life matters more than the fucking internet. I'm not negating the internet, because regardless of how I may feel about it, it's a part of the reality. But as a man, I think the reality of the United States is more important to you than just the internet side. You got to understand the internet side. You can't just, fan it away. But I think reality is always going to be top tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reality of shit is the only way that you're going to be able to understand yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you always following this person and that person, you can never really get to the root of who you are. And that's why I say this environment put everybody in a situation now to where it's like most people are insecure as fuck. Like, they insecure as hell, bro. And I think it's going in, I ain't gonna say it's going in reverse. I think it's just, we're going to another dimension, if that's what I had to call it. But that's just my thoughts, man. Like I said, the winter is here, bro. The United States environment is changing. And so you better become adaptable because shit about to get real. But that's just food for thought. You do the dishes. I'm LaTwan.